It was around 10 p.m. when Mr. Tinubu's elder brother received a horrifying phone call from his brother's home. He was told that his younger brother, Olusegun Tinubu, had been stabbed and that he had just been rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment. He may not have known the severity of the situation at the time, but this became very clear to him 30 minutes later when he received yet another phone call that shattered his heart into 1,000 pieces. His younger brother, Olusegun Tinubu, had succumbed to his injury and had been confirmed dead by the doctors on duty. The news quickly spread through the small community in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Broken by this news, Tinubu's family members quickly rushed to the couple's residence to find out what happened. It was made known to them that Tinubu had a disagreement with his wife, Mrs. Comfort Olalere, but after a relative intervened and helped them settle their differences that night, he was woken up shortly after by Tinubu's loud scream. When he rushed down to the living room to check what went wrong, he found Tinubu bleeding and with a stab wound on his back. Now, the most ridiculous thing about this tragic incident is what was said to have caused the fight between the couple. Tinubu's family reported the matter to the police, who then made their way to the couple's residence. When the police arrived at the scene, they carried out their preliminary investigations and also established the murder weapon to be a kitchen knife. Mrs. Comfort was arrested and then taken in for questioning, where she would go on to give a rather unsettling account of what happened that night. Mr. Olusegun Tinubu was a 39-year-old indigene of Oyo State. He was the CEO of Vibes Media and Entertainment World, a small company in Ibadan where he offered services such as Master of Ceremony, audio and video jingles, radio and TV production, and event planning, among others. Tinubu also made occasional appearances in popular radio stations in Oyo State, where he would render his audio jingles service. He got married to 31-year-old Comfort Olalere in 2021, and they had 2 children between them. Comfort is also an indigene of Oyo State, and they have been married for 3 years. From the look of things, it seems they also had their challenges as a couple. They would argue and disagree, just like it's common among most couples. Some sources also allege that, apart from the common arguments, there were also instances of abuse and domestic violence between them. Comfort had just given birth to her second child not too long before the tragic incident. She was still a breastfeeding mother, an action she was reported to have engaged in some minutes before she committed the biggest mistake of her life. When questioned by the police, Comfort gave her account of what happened that night. It was said that Comfort locked the door to their matrimonial bedroom around 7 a.m. and then left the house with the key. When Tinubu returned home, he was left stranded as he didn't have an extra key on him. So, he had to wait till around 7 p.m. that evening when his wife eventually returned home to open the door. At that point, Tinubu was possibly fuming with anger since he had to wait outside for over 12 hours before he could gain access to his bedroom. Now, it is not known if the couple already had a fight or some sort of disagreement the previous day, which would have prompted Comfort to lock him outside as a form of punishment. It is also not known if Comfort locked the door by mistake and probably forgot to leave the key behind. What is known is the fact that Tinubu couldn't gain access into his bedroom, and this didn't sit well with him. When Comfort eventually returned home late in the evening that day, she was confronted by her husband, who accused her of locking him outside the entire day. This accusation went on for quite a while, and at some point, Comfort had to attend to her baby. So, while the accusations and finger pointing were still going on, Comfort laid down on the bed and began breastfeeding her baby. The accusations eventually led to a full-blown argument, and that argument turned physical when Tinubu gave Comfort a slap. It was at this moment that the incident took a darker turn into something that would change their family forever. The slap from Tinubu dramatically turned the whole argument into a fight between the couple. Tinubu and Comfort were not living alone in the house. Staying with them was Tinubu's relative, who was said to have been receiving medical treatment while living with them. When this relative heard the couple fighting, He quickly rushed down to their bedroom to separate them. He successfully separated the two and then urged Tinubu to go sleep in the living room while Comfort took the bedroom for the night. The couple agreed to this suggestion. Tinubu left to sleep in the living room while Comfort and her baby remained in the bedroom. For a moment, it felt like the tension had finally died down and like the worst was eventually behind them. But sometimes appearance can be very deceiving. Some minutes after the relative had believed he had settled the fight between the couple, he heard a loud scream coming from the living room. When he rushed down there, he discovered that Comfort had stabbed his husband with a knife. Tinubu was writhing in pain while screaming for help. The neighbors who heard his screams also ran down to the couple's apartment, but they couldn't believe what their eyes were seeing that night. They assisted in rushing Tinubu to the hospital for treatment, but it seemed he had already lost a lot of blood. Tinubu was said to have slumped even before he was taken to the hospital for treatment. Some minutes after they arrived at the hospital, Tinubu was confirmed dead by the doctors on duty. Comfort did not try to deny what happened that night. Rather, she told the police her side of the story. This story shows how dangerous anger can become. If not controlled immediately, Comfort might have successfully taken her revenge, but in anger, she forgot the fact that she was a mother and that she still had a baby to breastfeed. Now that things are turned out the way they did, what would now happen to our two innocent children who will likely grow up without a father or mother? At the time of making this video, this case was still under active investigation. It will be interesting to know what verdict the judge will give in this case. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any updates in this case. Thank you for watching and as always, stay safe.
Actually, na servers dey share rice, na boss dey share work, but na God dey share grace. No be who hustle pass for street na him dey make am pass o. Na grace dey make person elevate where your mates dey relegate.
Yes!
For the fact say you make money before me no mean say you go make my own money or you go make money pass me.
Yes!
No be the same list we dey on top God list. When God reach your number, na him he call you, you go soon reach my number. So alaye, bring down your shoulder. The God wey do your own, he go do my own.